Okay, so let's take a look at how you can create forms in Oracle Apex. So what I'm going to do first is go to Oracle Apex page, which is on apex.oracle.com. Then click on start for free. Then I have like four options, right? So I can request free workspace, I can get cloud account, I can download the Express edition or enterprise, and then set up Apex, and fourth option being the virtual machine, which I can run on VMware or VirtualBox, right? So requesting free workspace is the easiest way to get the Oracle Apex. Get the name, last name, email, workspace and location, and accept the terms and request the workspace. Once you go through that, you will get approval email, and then you can log into Oracle Apex, which would have dashboard that looks something like this, right? Next thing would be to basically you have to click on app builder, right? Now here I will log in again, and once logged in I can create an app, right? So you can create from starter app, or maybe use your own data, or start from scratch. So I will use my own data. I will basically click on employee data here. This is the Excel file. Okay, now I will name this employee, right? And it will show me the data inside. Okay, you can see this below as a preview. Load this data, right? So it will load all the rows and it will give you that success status. Then click on create application. Now the thing is that you will have to choose the pages that you can get within Apex, right? So I will pick some of the pages for you and then create that application. So once we create an application, we can wait for it to show us the backend for it. So it will point us to the area where we have list of pages that we can see, right? And we can also run the application and verify how the application looks, right? So let me just add the password that I used for Apex, and I will log into this application where you can verify the employee report. It basically will allow you to also add new data. Then you have employee search, where you can filter, sort data to view. Then you can check the dashboard, where you can have option to view the charts based on what you show it for salary or for department. In this particular case, your data may vary, so your charts would also vary in that case. So now what we can do is we can come back to the point for which we are going through this process. Our point is to create forms using Apex. So we'll click on create page, right? Here you have various options, right? Within components, features, right? Then legacy pages. So I tend to avoid this, so I will stick with component and features, out of which component is where we have option to add form, right? So we will select form, click next. Here you will have to give the name to form. Let's say add employee, right? If you want to add any other name, you can do so. You can choose the page mode, normal, modal dialog, or drawer. So let's say if I choose modal dialog, it will appear as a basically pop-up live dialog, right? Then we'll have to choose a table name from which we want to fetch this one. It could be local database, REST service, or REST data source. Choose the source type as table or SQL query. either one would work. Right now everything is set and done, you can click next. Now it will take you to page designer. Prior to that, it will also ask you to pick the primary key. So my table doesn't have any primary key, so I will skip this part and let the Oracle decide the primary key, which is ID number by default. Now here you can see the page designer where I get my model dialog for adding new employee. I can test this out by clicking on play button, or alternatively I can click on application and then here I will run the application. Now go to top menu. Right here you'll notice that new dialog is not added, so we'll have to choose employee report. And here as you can see there is a create option now. Prior to this there wasn't any create option, so now that it is added I can click on create. You will also find option to add new employee. Right, so apart from that, let's try to find out if we have other option here. Currently it doesn't have that option, so only employee report has that option. Now if we return back here and let's see, we have add employee, and if I can see that as a normal page, let's see if we can turn this into option of turning it into a page. Right, so copy to other page, so copy region to a page. So currently we don't have any specific page to turn to, so we may have to, let's see, manually create a new page. So we will go back to our application and here I will choose add employee, and then here we will see if we can drop this delete page. So we have that add employee page removed. Right, so I will go to classic option where I can create that. So I will go back to application, then I will click on create page, choose form. Here I will choose add employee, then use page mode to normal. Right, then choose table as employee, click next. Right, then you can choose the primary key column. I will leave it as is, create the page. Now it will add one more entry to our application. Right, so form page created, so I will go back to application and here we will run the application. You can also use the right hand side option, but I skip that one to go with the flow. Here you see dedicated page for adding our new employee. So this form looks more legit as it has its own page and not some modal dialog or drawer option. Right, so the process to creating the form was, first we created Apex workspace, then we go to app builder, created a new app, then added new page and selected form. And after all of that we managed to create a form for a specific page where form fields appear. We can input the data into the system. Right, so that kind of created our workflow. Right, so if you want to create the form and let your users add your data into that particular app and want to have specific fields only, then you can follow that process. Right, so if you want to create it through normal page or dialog or drawer, it's your choice, but I think the most clean way to do that is using the page, because it reduces the amount of lookup for users. They can clearly see where to add the data and how to process it without having to search for it.